the rise, peeps. What is up, you guys? I am having such a crazy day that I am still making notes for this video and what I want to share with you guys. So, how's everybody's day going? Happy Thursday. My day's going crazy. I am going to give everybody a little bit to trickle in. I am not kidding you guys that I just spent all day trying to figure out our hotel and flights for JamCon. But the good news is we got it. Awesome sauce. So that is really great news because I'm totally pumped to meet 1 million people on my team and meet some of you ladies that I haven't met before on Lisa and Betsy's downline. And I see Heather Swanson's here and Emma Jones. Awesome. I'm going to give everybody a little bit to trickle in. So just making sure I'm live in the right group. We're going to just make sure of this because sometimes it doesn't happen and I go live. Okay, let me look. I see Laura's in here. Hey, Laura. Okay. Make sure I'm live in the right group. On the Rise May. Hey, Emma. I love chatting with you guys. Okay, yay. I'm live. Okay, I'm going to kick it into full gear then because we got a lot going on in our house and I'm going to make this snappy. Okay, hi Amanda. So, first of all, thank you, Emma. Emma just said you are in on the rise. Thank you for that affirmation. Okay, I got my notes here to keep me on track, and I'm just going to fly off the cuff here and share with you guys sort of some of my tips for doing vendor events, aka market stalls. So whatever you call them, it's where you're standing there talking to people that are cold market. You do not know them, and it's like, what do you say? So you get to the event, first of all, right? And you have your bag of goodies. So this is the first thing that I want to tell you. Put your phone away. Start making eye contact the second you walk in there. However you are your best and you have your best energy, be it a triple, quadruple, blah, 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 shot of coffee, like whatever that looks like, drink that coffee. If it's a Red Bull, if it's a green tea, if it's getting a good night's sleep, if it's eating or having a green smoothie, whatever you need to do in that morning to feel your best before that event, do it because you want to be your best. You have likely paid money for this event and I just want to see you succeed. So make sure you put your best foot forward. Make sure that you're dressed professionally. Don't be dressed sloppy. Make sure that your hair, everything looks groomed. Check your teeth before you're walking in. Don't be chomping on gum. Maybe take some mints because they're the most appealing for breath issues and breath stuff. So just some little like professional tidbits. Okay, so now you're poised and you look the part. I mean, obviously, if you can have something on that says Jamberry, that's awesome. You don't have to. And one of the things I suggest is don't like fuss over your nails, okay? If you've had on 10-day nails, they sell themselves. Maybe take one hand off and do like 1 finger of gel, 1 finger of lacquer, and 1 finger of just a wrap and leave a couple fingers naked. Why do I say that? At an event, sometimes people are like, oh, I really want to see how these work, but I don't want to do it on my fingers. And you need to have naked fingers to do that. So I actually love going with like 1 hand of old nails, 1 hand of new nails, and that new hand having a couple empty nails. So the other thing that's really fun to do at events is, again, just showing all the different styles on your nails, like showing that this is just True Shine and this is just lacquer and that this is just a wrap or this is wrap with our clear gel on top. Like whatever is your thing, just mix and match because you're a walking advertisement. Okay. So we have lots of smiling, lots of eye contact, no phone. One of the things I really always chat about with my team and even, of course, to myself is don't sit behind the table. It's just so much more appealing when you're standing in front of the table. And one of my biggest tips is always put one of you in front of the table. So one person is in front of the table and one person is at the table. So let me explain for a minute. Okay, so I'm in my office. Let's say, do you guys see that right there? Like the little envelope holder right here. Let's say that this is a person, okay? That right there is a person. Can you see it? This right there. Okay, so she's behind the table and she's like watching you. So when you walk up to the table, like think about how awesome it looks as if I'm over here. I'm a worker and she's a worker. Okay, so we're both Jamberry girls, and here's the table at the vendor event. So I'm over here talking to her, just saying like, oh, today hasn't been that busy yet. Like it hasn't been that busy. What do you think? Has it been that busy? So we're talking, okay? So what do you guys see while we're over here talking? Doesn't it look like I'm at the event, right? It looks like I'm like sitting there browsing the products too. So I always tell everybody to put one person out in front of the table standing, because it makes it so much more approachable when you think somebody's already at the table. But really, when you walk up, I'm going to be like, oh, hi, have you ever tried Jamberry before? And it's going to be like, haha, gotcha. So that's one of the things I do at events, and I love it. And it's so awesome, and it allows people just to approach the booth a lot more. So smiling, eye contact, don't be on your phone, like just really try to not be on your phone. So the first thing I do when I get there is I do a vendor giveaway. So why do I do this? I believe that everybody at a vendor event is there to make money. I believe there are so many people at those vendor events that waste their time trying to make money on whatever they're peddling, when they should just join my Jamberry team and make a lot more money. So I actually go around as soon as I get there. I quickly set up my table, because we all know that our vendor setups are like a cinch compared to other companies. I set up my table and I go around and I meet all the vendors. And I say, hey, fill this out and come over for a free accent nail, and I will totally enter you in the vendor only giveaway. I love loving on vendors and just opening up relationships with them, because you guys are like the key to like all of these great events in town. So I just want to open up our relationship and give you some love, and pop over here before the event starts and I'll slap one on your finger. Okay, let me tell you why this is awesome. Then they come over with their little form filled out, and then I put one on their finger, an accent nail. And I usually try to make it black and white because they're really obvious, or a bright color, a bright, colorful pattern. Okay, so now they're like, okay, and I'm like, good luck. It was so nice meeting you. Thank you for entering my giveaway. Like, I can't wait to hop over and look at your purses that you've made, that it takes you 5 million hours to make one of them, and then you sell them for 50 cents. Like, great job. Not. So, yeah, I'm like, and then so I'm sending them on their way, and I say, hey, make sure you count your comments. Let me know how many people comment on your nails. I'm just curious. Okay. So she goes back to her table and sits there and tries to sell her 50-cent purses, and everybody keeps commenting on her nails, because that's where she's using her hands at her booth. And then she keeps sending people to my table to get a free sample, right? And then so then later on, when she comes up and she's like, oh my gosh, so many people were commenting on my nail, and I'll be like, girl, please, like, that's how easy this business is. Like, people just are always commenting on your nails. So that's what I love to do for vendors, and then I give one giveaway for them, even if it's a half wrap. And now I'm in touch with all these vendors, and I can send all of them emails when I'm looking for another event and just say, hey, Lucy, this is Morgan. I'm the crazy Jamberry lady that you met at this event. I would love to know if any events are coming up. You know, it was so nice seeing you and getting to know you. Let me know if there's any events. I would love to book another one. So just being friends with other vendors is huge, you guys. So those are the two ways. I kind of plant seeds with them and try to like lure them to my team and tell them that they can do Jamberry while they're doing their other business. Okay, so I love doing that. So then the door prize for my regular old vendor table, so I do another door prize, and what I do is I just say, fill out this contact form, right? And they fill it out for the door prize. And then I say, would you like to join my Facebook group? I can add you right here just via your Facebook email, and you can get a second entry. So I love doing that because I want them to go right in my VIP group. Like, I want people right away to be in my VIP group. So how do I do that? I take another contact form and I have her write her name and her email down on that contact form. And then right then and there, I put her in my VIP group, whether I'm using my cell phone or my iPad or like whatever, my laptop, I put her in my VIP group right away. And that gives her a second entry into the giveaway. So that's something that I just started doing, and it works so amazing. And I've had quite a few sales from people just hopping in my VIP group from vendor events. Hold on, I have to remind my husband the baby has to go down for a nap. I'll be right back. Okay. You're welcome. Oh, real life at the Cullen house. Crazy. Okay. So that's the Facebook VIP, which I love. And then I did in standing in front of the table. So recruiting. So how do I recruit at vendor events? Okay. So what this looks like to me is really asking questions. And I know this sounds so awkward, but I don't really talk a lot at vendor events. I don't really talk that much about Jamberry. One of the things I love to do is when I am sharing samples on the table, I know my girls have heard this all the time. Okay, so here's all the sample cards, right? And I have them double side stick taped to my business cards. You guys see all the little samples on there? Okay, so when somebody walks up, I have all of these, like I'm talking like, I don't know, like maybe 30, 40 laying out all over the table, okay? And when somebody walks up, I'm like, girl, have you ever tried Jamberry before? You look like you would rock this. And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing free samples today. It'll take you like 1 minute. You'll be so amazed how quickly they work. And she's just like, okay. And I'm like, see all these colors right here? Which one of these is most like your personality? And it's so fun because like people choose really cool things, and it just gives you a little peek into their personality. Like I've had the big like tough biker chick choose like a floral. I've had like the cardigan and pearls lady choose like black lace. And I just love to just be like, ooh girl, look at you and your sexy choice. And it always just like makes us laugh and kind of connect, right? So I lay all the cards out and I say, tell me which one of these best fits your personality. So they're all laying there and they choose one and we figure out which nail it fits and we just go for it. So that is my first way of, I get to start asking questions and finding out more about them. So Amanda Murray asked how much is too much to spend on a vendor event. Amanda, I'll have you know that I've never spent more than $50 ever. I feel like if you were going to spend $200, I would find another consultant, and I always work in pairs. So rarely have I ever done a vendor event alone, and when I have, I've regretted it because it's so much better in pairs. So if you're going to do that wedding expo, why not split it with 3 other consultants and then split all of the contacts? Okay. So moving on, so then I'm sitting there, and the whole time I'm sitting there putting a sample on her, you guys, I'm asking questions, like every question under the sun. Like let's say we're at a shopping event, like, oh, what are you shopping for? Oh, do your kids go to school here? Oh, how long have you lived in this town? Oh, I love your purse, where's it from? Like I just am asking every question under the sun to try to get to know this person. Oh, what do you do for work? Oh, you're a stay-at-home mom. Oh, like what did you do before you were a stay-at-home mom? Oh, what does your husband do? Like just trying to find a connection and figure out who this woman is. So I just keep asking questions. I barely even talk about Jamberry, and this is all while I'm putting them on her and just talking to her. And then when it's on, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that. I didn't even tell you about Jamberry. I was like way too interested in getting to know you. So let me just tell you real quickly about Jamberry. And then I tell her real quickly, because what happens is through me asking all the questions for her, like asking her all the questions, I've now formed trust, because in a way I am so curious and I want to know about her, because if I don't know about her, I won't know how to paint Jamberry into her life as a business opportunity. And also, I don't want to waste pitching Jamberry to her if in my mind it really truly doesn't fit her life, right? So that's what I've learned. Asking questions helps you paint Jamberry into anyone's life, but you're not going to be able to do it unless you ask all those questions, okay? So that is the main thing that I do for recruiting at events, but the most important thing, and the only reason I do vendor events, is to absolutely meet people in the community, book either one-on-one application appointments or really open up like a dialogue. And if you are not good at follow-up, I highly suggest you don't do vendor events. Why do I say that? Because the fortune is in the follow-up with vendor events. Like, don't even book one if you will not pick up the phone or follow up with the people that you're meeting. Because I'm telling you, the interaction you're going to have with them is going to be like that. And what I love about having them join my VIP group is I can do some snooping around, right? Like, there's no way I would know if Don Smith that I met is this Don Smith or this Don Smith or this Don Smith or this Don Smith, if that makes sense. So when I add them to my VIP group, you can obviously see their profile. And when I can see their profile, I can do some snooping. And when I can do some snooping, then when I send emails, I will know how to pitch the idea to her more. So that's another reason. I'm a really like crazy little detective lady when I have some contacts on Facebook. Okay. So I think that's all I have for my recruiting and vendor events. I don't want to talk y'all's ears off. I swear I could just like go a million times. You guys can leave questions when it's not so insane. Like this is like insane hour around our house because the big kids, everybody's getting up from naps, going down for naps. It's crazy. So later on this evening, my husband has men's group. So when the kids go to bed, it would be my pleasure to hop on here and show you some of my vendor event setups, just so you can kind of check it out and get a feel for what my table looks like. The one thing that I really preach is simplicity. I don't want anybody booking an event and thinking they have to spend a ton of money on their table or anything. Like, one of the things I love is actually just gallivanting into the vendor event early and just being like, boop, in like 1 minute I set it up. And I feel like everybody's like, oh, the crazy Jamberry lady is here again. And she has like a 2-minute setup. And you know why I love doing that? Because then I have time to go around and meet all the vendors and do my vendor giveaway and just walk around. I mean, I actually walk around and just say, hey, can I help you set up a little bit? Like, my setup is so quick. I'm happy to help you. I just bring my good, generous, like, I want to be a blessing and meet people and just have fun energy, you know, because that's contagious. And immediately, if you offer a helping hand to another vendor, like, that right there is a connection. So what I'm saying is there's so many people in your town that would love Jamberry, and you have to figure out when you meet them at these events if they are a trier, a buyer, or a flyer. Are they just there to try your product? Like, do you just need them to try Jamberry with you? Or do you look at them and think, you know, they're not just a trier. I think they could really commit to these products, and I think that there's more to Jamberry, and I think they could be a really good buyer and a good customer. So then you have to figure out through asking questions, are they a buyer? And then the third thing you want to figure out is, are they a flyer? Are they a team member? Are they going to fly with me? Like, are they going to be my road dog? Like, are we going to do this thing together? So trier, flyer, buyer, or trier, buyer, flyer. And you just have to figure out, are they trier, are they a buyer, are they a flyer? And you're only going to find that out if you ask questions. Evelyn, that is crazy. Evelyn said it took 3 carloads of stuff. You are out of your mind, crazy lady. Yes. Don't do that again. No, I mean, you guys know that all my vendor event, I actually loaned it to somebody because I was doing a fundraiser and she wanted to do have everybody over to her house. So when we were away on vacation, she borrowed my whole vendor bag. So I don't have it here to show because she was like having people over last night and last weekend. So otherwise I'd show you, but it really is like, I'll show you the size of it. Everything I fit into something like this. Like, that's it. Just one tote, and I just bring it in. But in my bag, I have some really cool things. Like, one of the cool things I have that I love about my setup, which you guys will see, is there's this awesome display at IKEA right now. Okay, you guys see it? It's like this, and it has like a cork top. And I put the party note cards in here. Like, I display them sitting on the table in here. You'll see it in my picture. So these are really cheap, and they're from IKEA, and they come in sets. And I love these because it comes with this and then some smaller ones. And the smaller ones are what I put, like the little other samples and some alcohol wipes and that sort of thing. So I'll show you guys my table a little bit later. But I hope this helped you. I think that recruiting at vendor events is all about you getting curious about the people you're meeting, not thinking about yourself and really, really thinking about them and how Jamberry can beautify their life, be a bigger blessing, allow them to have some fun, some me time. So that is what I think you need to focus on at vendor events when you meet total strangers and you want them to commit to the idea of joining your team, is focusing on them and asking them questions and just being completely authentic and not like greedy for self-serving reasons. So I think when you go about the business model that way, the results that it elicits are far superior than ever just wanting people for like a quick fast start. I think so. Okay guys, I'm gonna peace out and I will pop on in the next 24 hours and give you guys some pictures. Okay, you guys can ask me any questions in this video feed too. Y'all are awesome. Keep up the hard work. I know this is so hard. I did this whole course in January with my first round of On the Risers, and it's intense, but listen to me. You book those 10 parties and you rock them, sister, because your life will change, okay? So keep pushing. All right, guys.